Hey everybody, let's talk about stress in the schools and what we can do to calm our children down, let them know everything's gonna be alright. And I've aptly worn my hippie shirt. Peace, love, hippiness. I like that play on words. The first article that I want to talk about is Enlightenment by Dr. Bernie Siegel, and this article came from the Natural Nutmegger in November of last year. He talks about enlightenment in a religious way, but also connects it to topics from a friend of his that is a dog trainer. And the dog trainer says that you need to realize love, trust, respect, consistency, and commitment. These are really important topics when thinking of enlightenment. You need to love yourself, love your neighbor, love your enemy. You need to trust in a higher power, whether it be a parent, a teacher, a co-worker, an employer, just something that will let you know everything's going to be alright. Even if you trust in yourself, that's important as well. You need to respect everyone, because in respect, you get it. You get it back. Consistency. Be consistent in your work. Be consistent in your personal life. You never know when these things are going to be important, that you're consistent and somebody notices a character change. That might be something indicating that you're not well and you need to see a doctor. So if you're consistent, that really helps them know when you need to see a doctor. And commitment. Putting a ring on a finger is one kind of commitment, but you can also commit to a lot of other things. Like my 10-year-old is in Boy Scouts, and he has to be committed to that so that he knows what commitment is and how to show that, how to do all or most of the activities that the other Boy Scouts are doing. How many of you out there knew that the word REST is actually an acronym? It stands for Restricted Environmental Stimulation Technique. Pretty cool, huh? The next article that I want to review about stress is Letting Stress Float Away, and it's kind of a long article, but I flew right through it because I loved everything that it had to say. In Om Float Spa in Manassas, Virginia, the company lets you float in a pool of water, kind of stuck there, and it has more salt in it than the Dead Sea, according to the author of the article. And really, it just lets you sit in your own juices, kind of rejuvenate.
I need to take a bath.
Hallucinations and smells were kind of working, right? Why the bath?
Hypnosis gave me a nose picker. Smell set off hallucinations. Sensory deprivation should get the brain into an alpha-theta phase. Did you see altered states?
The article says that this technique works for stress, muscular pain, addiction, fibromyalgia, whiplash, ADHD, and autism spectrum disorders. So special ed teachers would really love to see how this works. If you know your autism spectrum students like I do, most of the times when we bring them out to the playground or to physical therapy rooms, they love jumping up and down on trampolines or being on a swing. The feeling of weightlessness really appeals to them. You get that when you're floating. And for this to help out speaks a lot for this technique. The author said that it felt kind of awkward and the first 10 minutes were kind of grueling. But once you get past that and you actually start to relax, it works on your neurological state similar to sleep, dialing down the sympathetic nerve system, which is responsible for the part of a brain associated with fight or flight, and it turns up the parasympathetic nervous system associated with rest. And we already talked about the acronym REST, resisted environmental stimulation technique. So after that first 10 minutes, he thought of anxiety. Are my legs still there? Where am I in this tank? After that, you start to calm down and reconnect with your own body. And again, in the article, it says you lose sense of where your body starts and stops, and where the water does the same. Let's talk about a new concept, mindful meditation at school. You'll notice that I highlighted a bunch of areas in this article. I thought it was really interesting because the teacher in this article is a kindergarten teacher, and she notices that even then there are stresses. And in order to curb those stresses, they look at an apple, hold the apple, feel it, use your senses, really look and see. The kindergartners were able to see that there's white little tiny pieces on the inside of the apple. It's not just one shiny, smooth surface. It's all connected. And to take breaks and regroup may be simple as breathing, just to calm those nerves and get refocused. And that's the whole point of mindful meditation, is just getting refocused. Lastly, just this past week, on the 23rd of May, there was an article in the Hartford Courant about dog therapy and how it can really help students and anyone relieve their stress. And I really liked reading about the students, Chase, Eamon, Darcy, and Zach Hilborn from Conard High School in West Hartford, where my mom went. And they did a research project on how stress affects health. And they set up a program at their high school with the town's risk manager and getting insurance for the program about how petting a dog can release things in your brain that can really help calming and relieve stress. I didn't like that the article had this big huge picture, but it didn't really go into detail about what the brain really releases that helps with stress. I don't have a pet dog, but when my aunt passed away this past January, I was really sad, and a lot of other things were going on. So I bought myself a pet hamster. This is Skip. I love him so much. He's such a cutie pie. Hi, baby. Say hi to the camera. Well, thanks for saying hi to my baby Skip, and thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you're new to watching my videos, please subscribe. I really want to get at least double digits.